guys, how's it going? It's Al, DraftKings Week 7 top stacks. Let's talk about 5 of these quarterbacks and their pass catchers that we're going to try and run through tournament lineups. We're going to build a Underdog pick'em card. We're going to take a look at what all the totals are for these games, how they've changed throughout the week, and we're going to go over to the Solver and check out their Sims product and which stacks it likes this week. We'll find out at the end of the video with that one. But if you wanted to get the cheat sheet that comes out every single Friday, you got to join our Discord at smizzle.tv/discord. You got to become a channel member here on YouTube. That's $5 a month, smizzle.tv/join. Go to the instructions folder in Discord and link your one account to your YouTube account. And listen, please. It's got to be the same email address. Otherwise, it's not linking with anything. So the email address you sub with on YouTube has to be the same email address that you use over on Discord. That's it. We will try to help you if you're having trouble. I wish you the best of luck, but thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and let's go.
He's a legend.
The Smiz Gang Listener League for Week 7 is posted. It's got 4,500 entries. It is $10 to enter. It is a 3-max tournament. $45,000 in the prize pool. Absolutely zero rank. The best tournament that exists on DraftKings, but it does not exist in the lobby. You have to go to smizzle.tv/links in order to find the Listener League link, and then you can join the tournament. It's filled the last 3 weeks, typically on Saturday night, last week early on Sunday morning, so make sure that you get in there early today. Use your missions, get the extra crowns, do all the things, and I will shout out the winners, the top 10 finishers on the Al Smizzle Fantasy Football on Monday. We got the spreads for this game, for all the games, actually. The Bills and the Patriots. Bills by 9, total of 40. That's dire for the Patriots. Lions and Ravens, 43 points. Ravens got the home 3-point bump for being the home team in this one. Lions playing exceptionally well this year. Two teams we want to stream defenses against every single week are playing each other. And for the Commanders, second straight week. We want to stream defenses against the Commanders, the Falcons, the Giants, any quarterback named Jones, basically Daniel or Mac, and they're playing each other. So I guess can I put a defense in flex? Is that possible? Can I play the Commanders D to save some money and also play the Giants D? Because I would like to do that. Just play both of them against each other. That's the way. Browns against the Colts, total of 40. All the early games have like these really low totals. 37 and Falcons Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. Raiders and Bears 38. No Justin Fields possibly in this one. Cardinals Seahawks 44.5. Seahawks by 7.5. Steelers get Deontay back. They play against the Rams. 43.5. Rams favored by 3. And a big value situation at running back for the Rams this week, which is kind of why they're on the cover for the passing game. Chargers and Chiefs, 48 total in this one. Chiefs by 5.5. Packers against the Broncos, 45. And then everything else is off the slate. All the good teams are off the slate. All the fun teams to stack. The Dolphins, the Eagles, the 49ers, playing with or against the Vikings. Those are all off the slate. So we have what we have, and we have on the cover Matthew Stafford, who only has 6 touchdown passes through the first 6 games, but he got his delightful Cooper Kupp back 2 weeks ago and has 3 of those 6 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. So things looking upward for the Rams offense and Cooper Kupp. He's only thrown for 226 and 222 yards the past 2 games against Arizona and against Philly. Now squares off against Pittsburgh, but does not have his running back for this game, which is leading to, one, he doesn't have Kyron Williams, who has already been deemed out and may not come back until like week 10. He's been tremendous, and they have fed him an awful lot of volume on the ground, and he has been feasible in the passing game, way more so at the beginning of the year than the last few weeks. But not only is he out, Ronnie Rivers also expected, well, he's going to miss there. He's now on injured reserve. Fantastic. Which leaves 3 guys on the roster. One of them is not listed here. So Zach Evans, the rookie, who they drafted this year, and McVay typically has not liked playing rookies. Even when Henderson was a rookie, Cam Akers was a rookie, Kyron was a rookie last year. They just don't play rookie running backs, whether it's because the system is too difficult, whether it's pass protection issue, whatever it is. He historically has just not played rookie running backs in his offenses, which is leading people to want to play him at 4,000, but I think Royce Freeman's in play, and then Myles Gaskin also on the team. He's going to be interesting, but not listed here. So if everybody is going to be on Zach Evans, which I kind of think a lot of people are going to be on Zach Evans, or if they add, Gaskin to the player pool. Stafford doubles are going to be really low played or lower played than they probably should have, with 21 targets through 2 games for Cooper Kupp. He is extremely expensive at $9,500, but he's probably worth it. The Christian McCaffrey of wide receivers, right? You know he's going to get targets. You know he's going to get opportunities, and nobody can seem to stop it. So the ramp up was true. I have to retrospectively give, how can I say this in such a way that is also respectful while being condescending? McVay told us the truth for the first time in his history as the Rams coach when he said Cooper Kupp is not going to have any restrictions in week 5. So thank you, Coach McVay, for not lying to us. Finally, I still don't trust Sean McVay moving forward. Like, he told us the truth once. That doesn't mean we should listen to him forever. Also, the Steelers secondary, not that great. 29th, third in the league, fourth most points allowed to opposing wide receivers in the league. Cooper Kupp in play. Puka Nacua, not going to carry a large percentage on him. 18 targets the last 2 games, but coming off of a 6.6 point day, people are going to run away from this Puka Nacua play. Loth were under 10% last week. Everybody's going to be playing the running back, which means they're not going to be playing the wide receivers. So we have a low percentage possibility to play them, where the cumulative ownership of that double stack is going to be very low. Tutu Atwell, third most in team in targets and routes run since the return of Cooper Kupp, and Higbee also 3 targets in each game. It's basically Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, 3 tiers of nobody getting targets, and then the other 2 guys. So you can safely play these 2 in a double stack if you're playing Matthew Stafford. And if you wanted to keep up with how the running back situation is going, I don't know where you should go to keep up with this with our Smiz Gang community, but if only there was a place that you might be able to, join a whole bunch of other people that want to discuss the slate. I don't know where that would be. Maybe it'll come to me soon. Patrick Mahomes is our second stack. Obviously, the highest totaled game on the slate, 2 fast-paced teams, a defense that can't stop anybody on one side. The problem is Kansas City's defense has been way better this year, and it's held the offense to not having to put up points. The beauty of the Mahomes offense historically has been that the Chiefs have been a really difficult to stop offense. And they've had a defense that had difficulty in stopping everybody else. They've kind of become this boring dink and dunk offense this year. They have the same wide receivers they had last year, so it's not, well, they don't have receivers. They didn't have receivers last year either. They went out and acquired Mecole Hardman this week. Not that that's going to make some massive difference in the way they run things. I believe that they acquired him because partially they're going to make the push. He knows their offense. Justin Watson dealing with an injury. He's the guy who fills that deep threat right now on the team. So he comes in and fills that. On the receiving core, we have a couple of guys who are getting targets at 4,700. I believe that if you're playing tournaments, cash game, different story, but if you're playing tournaments, Rashee Rice is fine at 4,700. We're not caring about his floor. We know what that is. We're caring more about his opportunity to get a ceiling. He is the one wide receiver on this team that looks like he has the juice with the ball in his hands. And with the absence of Watson, we now have the possibility that Rashee Rice gets more involved deeper down the field. We saw that last game with an 18 yard per catch average. Hopefully that continues to materialize, and he has a solid role around the goal line. Kadarius Toney and his horrible picture, 6 targets each of the last 2 games. If you wanted to gamble on Mecole Hardman or the king of cardio at 3,200, go ahead. That's a little bit too many concentric circles out for my liking in terms of large field tournaments. Travis Kelce, the one that everybody's going to play. You have to figure out if you're going to be able to beat people with the Mahomes Kelce other stack. Mahomes Kelce skinnies are useless because everybody that's playing Mahomes is going to be on Kelce, unless you think that both are going to be unplayable, which I don't think is going to be the case this week because of there is enough value to make it happen at running back. So I think that people are going to pay up for Kelce. They always do. He's never like an under 5 guy. But I think we're looking at 15 to 20% in tournaments this week because of everything that he is capable of and everything else that is on this slate. On the other side of this game, Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers, extremely solid every single week. 20 points, 24, 20, 32, 25, 20. Chargers have been good this year. Chargers lose games stupidly, but that's not Herbert's fault, right? Like, he's doing everything we want. 9 touchdowns through the first 5 games. throwing for 300 yards twice so far this year. They now have the return of Austin Eckler to this offense, and I will not use running backs in my double stacks unless they are guys who project to have over 15% of the target market share, 11 targets in the 2 games so far this year. And without Big Mike, he is going to be in that grouping that I'm going to allow, as well as Keenan Allen, who's just really good. He had 21.5 points against Dallas. And yes, Herbert missed him a couple of times. He could have had a nuclear game in that game against Dallas, but Herbert missed him in those 2 spots. That wasn't Keenan's fault. He got loose, and just bad throws cost him. Joshua Palmer, 15 targets the last 2 games, 22 targets the last 3 games. He's been good. Hasn't had a monster game. He, on volume alone, has been around 10 points on average, scored the 1 touchdown against Minnesota in week 3. That was the game that Big Mike left, and then Quentin Johnson, the rookie, just isn't good enough right now. And this was a concern around combine time, where he was the big shiny thing coming out of TCU, and then the more people dug into it, it's like, well, I don't know, age of breakout, all these other things. It's like, we want him to be the thing. Well, he looks just like Big Mike. He has dreads. Big Mike used to have dreads. Like, they might be the same guy. He'll just step into that job. And that was never going to be the case. If you don't believe me, go look back at the video from from a few weeks ago. I was like, he is not going to be just stepping into a role. He's not. If you want to play him, fine. We did watch Gerald Everett score a touchdown this week. That was encouraging. They actually used him inside the red zone. 5 targets for him. Parham Jr., he is going to continue to be the Jerome Bettis of tight ends, where he's just going to get 2 or 3 opportunities, but they're going to be on the goal line. So there's touchdown upside if you wanted to gamble on the touchdown with him. Clearly, many bring back plays on the Chiefs. Let's go over to Underdog Fantasy. This is already moving all over the place. Why didn't I do this at the beginning of the video? Look at this. All these things with up arrows. There's $500 sitting out there for you to go claim if you do not have an account over on Underdog Fantasy. It's really simple. Go to Underdog Fantasy, and on your first deposit to the site, you can claim up to a $500 deposit bonus if you use the code ALSMIZZLE, ALSMIZZLE, all one word, and you'll get up to a $500 deposit bonus your first deposit to the site. It's that easy. You can use it on Pick'em. I've got 3. Let's just do the quarterbacks we talked about in this video. Matthew Stafford over 261.5, Herbert over 266.5, Mahomes over 277.5. Unders are, I got to accept them because they all freaking change. Yes, yes, yes. Unders are sharper. I'm going to bet the overs because I'm a donkey. You can feel free to fade me. You don't have to play what I say. Play what you want, but definitely go over an Underdog and play something. Get your kids out the street. Go pick up the free money. Let's get back to the video. Apparently, DK Metcalf is playing quarterback when really it's Geno Smith, who's the guy that we should be talking about right now, against Arizona. This is going to be a really interesting spot because Seattle has been under 5% at every wide receiver spot the entire season. Every week when I'm doing 5 under 5, Lockett and Metcalf are under 5 like every single week. I don't think they're going to be this week. I don't think Lockett's going to be this week. Metcalf will probably be under 5, and Jackson Jigba will probably also be under 5%. The reason that Geno Smith is in this is because Ken Walker III is probably going to be the chalk and does not soak up an awful lot of targets. He gets some, but like not a lot. He does well with the ones that he gets, but everybody wants to play him against Arizona, considering how many points Arizona is bleeding to opposing running backs. So how can we leverage that? Well, you could do this, and if Geno has a 300-yard day, which he's done twice this year and challenged it on another one, 2 of them being on the road and Carolina being bad, if he posts a 25 to 30-point fantasy day, it's probably going to go through these 2 cats right here. Jackson Smith and Jigba has not done a great job so far this year in terms of like EPA per play, yards per route run. He's running routes, he's just not getting the ball, and I think the kid's got talent. He gives you a value option at 3,900 to plug into that stack, or if you wanted to go with somebody like Noah Fant, or Disley, their volume is not ever present. It's fully a gamble at tight end if you're going with one of them, but like it's really going to cycle around these 2 and then possibly JSN if you wanted to go that way. And on Arizona, there is chalky and value pieces to come back with: Marquise Brown, Ertz, Wilson as well. And Seattle's been terrible at defending the pass too. So this this stack does have some upside if these teams can put some points on the board and sneak into the end zone a couple times and that game really shoots out. This is the last one. This is the puke stack, and this is kind of what we have to talk about. One, PJ Walker started last week, completed 18 passes, only had 5.7 points against a very, very good San Francisco defense. And now he gets the very, very not good Indy defense. So this is a softer landing spot if he is going to be the one to start. So there is a possibility that Deshaun Watson at only 5,700. It's not like it's a big jump up in price. He's going to participate in practice today on Thursday. If he practices on Thursday and then practices full on Friday and goes this weekend, then this stack becomes even more palatable to me than the PJ Walker super bargain basement Dollar Tree stack that it would be at 4,800, where I don't know if there's very much opportunity for PJ Walker to post a 25 plus fantasy day, but you could wrap a whole lot of more expensive stuff around the PJ skinny or double stack. So if Deshaun Watson doesn't play, don't play Deshaun Watson. And if Deshaun Watson does play, don't play PJ Walker. But none of that changes who the pass catchers are. Amari Cooper has been quite good this year in the opportunities that he had. 5 points for his quarterback, and he put up almost an 18-point fantasy day without a touchdown on 4 catches. He is quite good at his craft and amazing at what he does. Elijah Moore has been solidly included with only 1 game this year where he got less than 7 targets. Has not done a lot with them because they're very low ADOT targets, but he is good in space and can be included. And David Njoku, coming back from the burn injuries, has had 11 targets in the 2 games since then. Always has touchdown upside. Clearly, in my opinion, is going to be better with Deshaun Watson, a quarterback, over PJ Walker. Let's go over to the solver. And if you do not have an account over at the solver, you can use my link, smizzle.tv/solver, all lowercase letters. And that would help the stream a lot if you wanted to go do that. If this is something that you're interested in, they have a great lineup builder. Here's all the same rules that I've always used just right here. I've got the Chargers to allow stacks that include Austin Eckler in there. We can come over here. I'm just going to run these vanilla with all those same rules that we have. Let's build 150 lineups. Yeah, let's do that. Realize that you're going to have to kind of manicure these lineups and figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it, how you're going to go about things, because I haven't eliminated any quarterbacks. It's not as simple as going to a lineup builder and then just printing money. That's never going to be how it works. So make sure that you are working on your correlation, your combinations, your allocations. They have a great Sims product over there if it's something that was interesting to you to see what the computer thinks of these lineups. So I went through and built a whole bunch of lineups, vanilla, with no restrictions other than my stacking rules. And this is kind of what it came up with. You can isolate this. I did it for the slant, which is mass multi-entry large field. If you wanted to simulate how the lineups that you're building with certain quarterbacks would look or different stacks would look, against the projections and the ownership projections that they have, you can run that for the smaller field, for 3 max, for single entry, and it really helps and has been a part of my process this season. Is been using the Sims as a part of my lineup building, both the lineups that I hand build and the way that I build my stacks with an optimizer. So thank you all for being here. Go check out the solver. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.